check this out. Vertical video and a new controller, and it does active track. You're going to want to see this. First flight of the new DJI Mini 3 Pro. Let's go. Now before I get in and talk about the revolutionary features, the super exciting specifications of this drone, I just wanted to quickly talk about stereotypes, because I think DJI has just broke one. You see, traditionally when we think of small, lightweight and portable drones, we think entry-level performance. And when we think of flagship level drones with high quality video, we think large, heavy drones with more restrictions to jump through. But what if you could have the best of both worlds? Well, now you can with this, the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So let's talk about the design of the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Here it is. That's it folded up. And the first thing you're going to notice is that it has an all new design over something like the DJI Mini 2. And this all new design brings benefits such as improved wind resistance. And I have to say, it's been exceptionally windy round the coast here at the minute when I've been trying this drone out. And I've had this drone out on some really windy days, and it has handled perfectly. Now, when you first unfold this drone, the first thing you might notice that's visually different is that the back legs sit higher than the front. And attached to them legs are larger propellers. Now, them larger propellers are what's going to bring that improved wind resistance and that improved performance. There's a range of other visual things you'll notice, design differences with this drone. The first you'll notice is that it now has obstacle avoiding sensors, tri-directional obstacle avoiding sensors. The other thing, and the big thing you'll notice, is if I take this gimbal protector off, is that it has an all new gimbal design. It has 3-axis stabilization, and this all new gimbal design allows true vertical video format. You can now capture videos natively in vertical format. I'll talk more about that again later in the video, but I think that is a massive innovation. So I've had the privilege of being able to test this drone for a few weeks now, and I've tried the camera out in a range of different lighting situations and in a range of different locations. The video quality you get from this drone is absolutely mind-blowing. And the area I've noticed it most is in lower light situations. With the larger sensor of the DJI Mini 3 Pro, 1/1.3 inch, and an aperture of 1.7 over something like the DJI Mini 2's 2.8, I've really noticed a massive improvement in them lower light situations. You can capture up to 4K 60 FPS video, and you can record in 1080p 120 FPS slow motion. Alongside that, you can also record in decine-like color profile if you like to color grade your footage in post. I really can't get over how well this thing flies in the air, and the footage you get from it is incredible. I really do think that anyone could pick this drone up and get cinematic footage right out of the gate. It's starting to seem like this is the ideal first drone. So all the clips you're seeing are coming from the normal profile with a little bit of color grading I've added in post. You can also shoot 48 megapixel photos, and as with all the DJI drone range, the photos always look crisp, sharp, and incredible. Now the camera sits on a completely new gimbal design. And this gimbal has a range of benefits and some neat new features. Firstly, it has 3-axis stabilization, so you're going to get incredibly smooth videos. It now also is able to tilt further upwards, and you'll notice there's a larger cutout at the top of the drone, so you can now look further up and have a more unobstructed view than ever before. You can basically look straight up. But the real innovation here, and the one I'm sure you're all dying to see, is it can now shoot true vertical video. The gimbal can turn on its side, and on the app you can see exactly what you're shooting in vertical mode. This is a massive benefit, especially for anyone who makes a lot of content for social apps. And it also has a big benefit of if you're shooting anything vertical, a really large vertical subject, so tall buildings, waterfalls, anything like that, you can now capture even more of that than ever before. I can't get over how quiet this drone is. I think this might be the quietest drone I have ever flown. It's incredibly quiet. In terms of the weight, they've kept it 249 grams, and this is absolutely a massive win because most countries' drone regulations and restrictions kick in heavily around 250 grams and above. It's also incredibly lightweight, portable and compact. You can fit this drone basically anywhere, and it fits in such a small space in any camera bag. For comparison, here's a DJI Mini 2. You'll see that the DJI Mini 3 Pro is slightly larger, but you're getting a much higher level performance drone that delivers very high quality footage. I just can't get over the size of this tiny little drone. For example, here's my camera bag. I take it out whenever I'm making all these videos, and look at the space this little guy takes up. Look. I can't get over that. The video quality of this drone, and that's all the space it takes up. My mind is blown. There's no reason you couldn't take this drone anywhere. For flight time, you now get 34 minutes per battery, so 3 minutes more than you would get over something like the DJI Mini 2. And if you buy the Fly More kit, you get 2 additional batteries, making 3 in total, so you get well over an hour and a half's flight time. Now there is also a Fly More kit Plus that comes with extended batteries that have 47 minutes flight time, but this is not available in Europe. So let's talk transmission and controllers. So the drone now uses OcuSync 3.0 and 4 antennas to get up to 12 kilometers range. Now when you're picking this drone up, you have a few options controller wise. There's an option as a standalone version which comes with no controller, or you can pick up a version with the DJI RC N1 controller. This is a staple for DJI at the minute. You might recognize it from drones like the Air 2S, the Mavic 3 or even the Mini 2. But if you want to go one step further, there's the new DJI RC Controller, and you can pick this up as the 3rd version with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. I love this controller. These are just such a joy to use. It's fantastic. So why do I love this controller? There's a lot of reasons. Firstly, it's just so quick and handy to pull the controller out of your bag, turn it on, and away you go. Secondly, it boots up so quickly. It just turns on so fast and you're ready to go, you're ready to start flying. Now when it comes to the sticks, they're much lighter to use. There's definitely less resistance to them, and this is going to be personal taste, but for me, I find them much easier to use to get cinematic shots and much easier to be able to hold your drone in certain cinematic moves. Also, there's a few additional buttons. You've got buttons on the top and you've got buttons on the back, and these can be programmed through the DJI Fly app to do different things. You also have an additional scroll wheel on the top, and this can be used for zooming in and out. So now let's talk about the new intelligent features of this DJI Mini 3 Pro, the big ones being obstacle avoidance and active track. I know the drone community has been crying out for it for ages on a mini drone, and we finally have it, and it's amazing, but I'll get onto that in just a second. So this drone has APAS, Advanced Pilot Assistance Systems 4.0. And what that means is the drone, using its sensors, will actively try to avoid obstacles it sees, or it will brake when it sees them, depending what setting you have on the Fly app. The drone comes with focus track. Yes, you can now track yourself with this drone. So there's a few different modes that you can use. In the active track mode, you can use trace, which will basically fly behind you. It works fantastic. I've tried it lots. Really impressed with it. You can also do parallel, so the drone will fly beside you and keep you, well, will fly parallel to you. It also works really great. You can also do spotlight, so the drone will stay stationary in the air, and as you move about, the drone will stay in place, but it will rotate to track you and move the gimbal up and down to track you. And you can also do point of interest, where the drone will orbit round a point of interest. All these modes work fantastic, and I'm sure you will be super excited and super happy that they're now available on a mini drone. You can now also do hyperlapses with this drone, so you can get them awesome hyperlapse shots, and you can also use master shots where you select a subject and the drone will go off and do a range of pre-planned maneuvers and come back and you will have a cinematic sequence ready to go. So who is this drone for? Well, to be quite honest, it would be easier for me to say who isn't this drone for. In my opinion, this is the ideal drone for absolutely everybody, and arguably the best drone you can buy right now, full stop. If you're a hobbyist or tech enthusiast or beginner and you want to get high quality aerial photos and videos, capture videos of yourself adventuring or traveling, then you need this drone. I think the key thing is this is not really a successor to the DJI Mini 2. This is really the start of a line of professional level mini drones from DJI. A professional can use this and get professional results, but it's also fantastic for beginners and for someone who's picking up their first drone, because it's a very capable drone that will stick by you for a very long time. So what's my personal thoughts after flying this for a few weeks? Well, if you haven't already guessed throughout this video, I love it. As mentioned, the combination of this new RC controller and the DJI Mini 3 Pro's quality of the video and photos you get, it's just a joy to use. It's a joy to look at the footage you get from it, and I absolutely love it. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the DJI Mini 3 Pro in the comments down below? I have to say a big thank you to DJI. They sent me out this drone a few weeks early before release to try out and get some thoughts on it. So a big thank you to DJI. I have absolutely loved using this drone. If you've liked this video and you've learned something new, please let me know by giving me the thumbs up and clicking that like button down below. And if you've just picked up a drone and want to learn more about it, how to get more cinematic videos and better photos, then I recommend you check out my channel, where I have a ton of other content to help you level up your drone game. If you want to stick around and watch a few more of them videos now, here's a few I'd personally recommend checking out. And I'll not keep you back any further. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you just over there.